Soviets of the Red Army, how are you all doing? I am Con Ulrich.
And I'm Mangru, low, low, low.
And folks, we promised you another game from the Steel Division Tournament Championship Series, the name of which I'm completely flubbing. Here on Shechedrin, we're having ourselves a real ripper. Rank who is fighting and for what?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have Frubblord playing as a Hermann Göring Falchion Panzer Division with Vanguard income. And on the right-hand side in red, we have Fredericka von Elstadt playing as 9th Cavalry with Maverick income.
So, von Otterstadt over here, I love this already. We actually have ourselves a Katyusha. But before I get ahead of myself with all these 21 gun salutes going off in my head, folks, we mentioned it earlier this week. We want to plug it again today. The second season of the SD2 League is coming up and coming up fast. But if you want to get part of it, trust me, there's still time. Just click the link in the description below either one of our videos. It's going to take you to a form. You're going to sign up for it, and you know what? You're going to have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
We welcome all skill levels, welcome all kind of perspectives. I mean, if you want to go and do an L6 rush, well, Gonzo, you sign right up too. And guys, we'd love to see you guys come out for it. The first season was a great success. Hopefully the second one will be just as much so, but we need you to do it.
Yeah.
And so help me God, I actually just did the whole Kaiser, or not Kaiser, but the Lord Kitchener pointing at my computer screen.
Too bad we don't have webcams.
Oh man, I have a webcam, but I should really actually use it at some point for one of these. You guys, let me know if you have to edit everything you wanted to do. But anyway, Hermann Göring, always kind of one of those guilty pleasures. Von Otterstadt over here with the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of standard, Kazakh
Yeah.
opening stuff. But
Yeah.
I love this early Katyusha.
I do
really,
too.
really do.
It's so ballsy. You never see an A-face Katyusha, but is he gonna try and shoot the road? No, he's shooting into the town.
Yeah, I would have aimed a little bit further forward. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Because you gotta know he's not gonna be able to get the troops there in time.
Yeah, I think he's trying to time it correctly, but just like resetting the Katyusha before it shoots until you can like time it right, because it does take a long time to aim shed rocket artillery.
Excuse me. Well, worst comes to worst. Oh, wow. 15-9. Yeah, that freaking... Oh, my God. The Jeeps are just so
Holy
broken
crap.
sometimes.
Yeah, just like Need for Speed, underground speed, I swear. Yeah. Getting them into great position early on. I mean, down south in the town, you got the Machikis, up north as well. And also, yeah, just pretty good opener here from Ort.
Yes, indeed. And the first rockets will start coming out. And while I don't really hear any French, La Marseillaise going here, there will certainly be an excellent opening to this whole 1812 kind of moment.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, in the north, we have ourselves a bit of a flame war. Otomachiki going up against those Flammenwerfer troops. And, ooh, this Katyusha could have been so perfect, and we kept monkeying with it to the point that now we're firing. Might catch a couple of Grenadier Pioneers, but that's about it.
Yeah. There we go. Here comes the fireworks, and does alright.
True. It is alright. It definitely blows a hole in that earlier defense. Now, there is one MG42 and a PaK-38. Wow, okay, so we have a couple T-34s in there as well. Who's got the advantage with this right now? I'm not entirely sure.
Down south, I'd definitely give it to Ort. Just T-34 Purse can definitely do quite a lot of damage. The PaK-38 isn't in the best position, line of sight rise,
True.
but at the same time, Frubblord has 2 of his own T-34s being brought in. So, all in all, some T-34s are going to die.
Indeed, that you speak the true. To the north, well, it looks like the Flammenwerfer troops are a little bit more feisty than their Russian counterparts. Of course, might be helped out by the fact they have a couple of MG42 sitting in support.
Hmm?
But the northern side, there's no need to really be too aggressive. We actually see a bunch of Russian infantry in the saddle between the two hills, which is an interesting call to leave them there.
Yeah, that's a bit silly.
Yeah, that's a polite way of putting it. And we're going to see the T-34s are going to run afoul of each other. Who shoots first? I don't know, but we have some weird sight lines opening up and closing and opening up and closing.
It's funny how the 42 model of the T-34 is better than the 43, because the 43s have worse armor production. It is for like, uh, make them cheaper to produce and whatnot. But anyway, the Soviets, they're doing okay-ish.
You know, one thing I didn't see is I did not see that airplane come in. I just saw bombs exploding on the ground, and I was like, what the deuce is going on? Frubblord, by the way, not to be outdone, brings in 3 more T-34s. I'm going to guess we'll see a tank column coming in. Nope, just Kazakhs. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, Frubblord's infantry actually doing a pretty good job clearing out the Kazakis. Kazakis aren't exactly great, to be entirely honest. Not a lot of guys in the squad. They actually got a little bit of extra SMGs compared to a regular strokey squad. But you lose 3 guys, which is kind of a big deal.
That is certainly true. I will say though that I feel like they're, for what you pay for them, they still are quite solid.
Yeah, for 20 points are not bad. I mean, it's nice that they do have the anti-tank rifle. That's really the cool thing about them. But
Sure.
in terms of, like, close range infantry fighting, I mean, you kind of want Kazaki SVTs or Kazaki SMG squads.
Now, unfortunately, it doesn't look like Fredericka over here has built his deck that particular fashion, or her deck, but I think it's a he. Now,
Most likely.
One thing else I didn't mention, we do ourselves an MCHA, but we also have a Valentine, which will finally be to the front line by Valentine's Day. Especially, look at where he's deploying him.
Where's he going? Jesus Christ, don't attack move with it. What are you doing?
Well, what I also say is that we have an ME-410 just kind of sitting high cover, which I think is a good call, especially after seeing that Soviet air power coming in. That could have been very, very bad if we see another airstrike coming in now.
I just killed a Katyusha down south with the 410.
Oh, he just did. Oh my god.
Just Jesus. Brutal. Brutal, brutal.
And with that, it's 13-11 the other direction. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of angry Germans in the town now, as well as a lot of angry Russians, and the Russians are all in the middle of the road, which is not probably the best place for them to be staying in.
Yeah, my mother always said, never play in the middle of the road, and definitely don't shoot Germans in the middle of the road either.
Especially when there's tank traffic.
I think she had a different lesson in mind, but I think it's probably true. But yes, the German T-34s, the Boita stuff, is definitely giving the boot over here to the Soviets.
Yeah, it's just... I mean, you definitely needed to bring Kazakis into town, but you also really needed some more fire support. And the Sherman's kind of taken forever and a half to get to the front line. Same with the Valentine, because he's attack moving them instead of fast moving, which is kind of an issue.
True. True. Checking out other things around the map, MCHA up to the north getting pounded by either first this Jagdpanzer or this Pak-38, and the Pak-38 gets a kill at the end of it all. And just like that, the line becomes a little bit more concave than it should be under the circumstances.
Yeah, Rob's doing a pretty good job just exploiting his A-phase income overall, and also just kind of better material. 9th is a very uphill battle division to play, because you don't really have a lot of... You have like cool toys, but they're not great toys. They're just, guys who are like smaller squads than regular guys, but with a little bit more veterancy.
True. True. Now, one thing that is surprising to me is that we actually have not seen the Germans aggress across the saddle.
Oh, yeah.
We're slowly starting to see that now. A bit of a resurgent infantry push to clear out this forest, and that should be happening pretty quickly. Especially with the Pantogrens in close support. Yep. Here's the Kazakh PPSHs you were talking about before. That would have been fun to have. Regrettably, not the case.
But yeah, it's just a lot of T-34s from Frubblords in the town. And that's just a pain in the ass to deal with 9th Cavalry, because even just like T-34s can be kind of a nuisance. As, like, you got Shermans, which are alright, but they're just kind of alright against armored tanks like that. It's a pretty even fight. Well, slightly skewed towards the Sherman because of 50 cal and stabilizers.
Oh man, it's been a while since we mentioned the stabilizers.
Alright.
Worth noting, we do have a 900 kilograms worth of bombs going down to this actual town, and here we go. a little underwhelming. Expected a
Yeah.
little more bang for that buck there. But worth noting as well that a ground attack plane has been taken out on the German side by an LA-7.
I think that was the G2,
I
the
think
Ju-87.
yes, I
Yes.
think you're right. I honestly just saw the ending of that tiny little scrum that was going on. To the north, in the meantime, though, it looks like yeah, I think Frubblord is getting himself preparing for something happening up here. Yeah, I think he's gonna start aggressing more efficiently.
Hmm. There we
Kind
go.
of,
Yeah.
sorry, please, sir.
Yeah, we just got those 37mm Packard tracks, providing some long-range firepower. And look, his C-34 is flanking all the way up north.
And that's true, but this other T-34 sitting in defilade still.
Yeah.
He's got the first shot as well. Track's broken. Even if he goes down, if he can buy one kill with his life, that's more than fine. Yep.
Yeah. Paid himself off. Might
Yeah.
pay himself off even more.
Well, that's one thing again, especially with Hermann Goring. I feel like you have to be fairly efficient with what goes on here because your stuff is just not. You don't have oodles of it. You just have a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah. Your tanks is pretty interesting because really your tanks are more anti-tank because you just spam Jagdpanzers that you have. My God, you can get a lot of Jagdpanzers, and I'm not gonna complain. Jagdpanzers are really good vehicles. They're like Panthers but with worse guns, less machine guns, and no turret. But you know, just like Panthers.
You have a very strange sense of what a Panther looks like these days.
All right.
We do have that one T-34-76 that's just fearlessly charging around the flanks, his own private version of the Light Brigade. And the saddle has gone over here to the Germans, and the Tu-2S, he's going after those poor infantry. The PBIs are going to get hit pretty damn hard.
You know where it'd help down south for Ord?
Stuff.
Artillery, mortars.
Oh, that's true.
Never
Well,
go wrong
he
on
used to have a
mortars.
Katyusha.
He used to, but the Katyusha kind of disappeared in a tragic accident.
Tragic blimp accident over the Rose Bowl last week.
Yeah, but yeah, just I mean, always see it's a lot of town fights is like, just one or two mortars can make a huge difference. Just small 81, 82 millimeters, still bloody powerful. But yeah, and
Pack
especially
tracks
with knife.
are getting a little bit pounded here. Sorry, sir.
No, yeah, it was. Oh god, that T-34 was actually kind of made it, but he ran into a Jagdpanzer, which is not ideal for a tank of his stature.
No, sir. Now, one thing that's keeping, I would say, Fredericka von Arnstadt over here, even remotely in this game, are these bombing runs. Even though they've been a little bit underwhelming, and now getting the Gepards out as well, the 3-star Gepards, kept them even remotely, I think, competitive here.
Yeah, just a little bit of extra firepower from above.
We are seeing the SVT Kazakhs as well as the PPSH are starting to come out in full force. Question is, of course, should he have reversed the order of those cards? Should it have been SVTs and PPSHs first, or what? What do you think?
I think in this Maverick Income deck, it's probably better to take the B Phase SVT card because it's 24 per card instead of 12. You only get one card of them, so and also considering B Phase Income, it's probably a better idea. And honestly, Riv Knife Cavalry, like those SVT cards, are really all like big firepower infantry that you get, and you only get one card of them, so you really gotta make it count.
Fair enough. Now, 2 more Jagdpanzers being brought on in to the south. One thing that's interesting to me is whenever you see a German division in this game up in numbers, it's never heralds anything really that good for their opposing nation. Because, you know, pound for pound, yes, semi-automatic rifles are fantastic, but would you say, on average, the German infantry is better, the worse, or the same in this case?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm just thinking in terms of like regular infantry, and I would have to say, yeah, like Panzer Grenadiers have much more firepower compared to like a strokey squad, but the
Hmm.
Russians, like, having those anti-tank rifles embedded in infantry squads is really what makes the Russian infantry competitive in its own right. While the German infantry is definitely a bit more anti-infantry focused. And also because the submachine guns kind of suck and the Russians really rely on a lot of SMG squads.
Well, the one thing that's kind of always struck me as interesting is that I would say that the Allied stuff tends to be more durable, if
Yeah,
that
they
makes
got more
any sense.
numbers.
Yeah.
Like,
Which,
on average, yeah.
yeah. Worth noting as well, we have seen that Frubblord over here is playing with significant amount of command chaining. He has a commander down to the south that's been kind of calling up and definitely make all of his frontline troops looking rather sexy.
Hmm.
Question is, will this T-34 survive? Broken tracks. Jeez, there's so much air power here at on the southern side.
Yeah, it's good use of light cavalry in that regard, because you really gotta exploit the air power advantage. But I do like how Ort is starting to get a bit of a foothold back into the town. He's still got many city blocks that he's gonna have to fight over, but he's pushing in, and he's pushing in hard.
Yes, he is for the moment, but
Hmm.
we still have the Jagdpanzers who are coming up, slowly kind of positioning themselves to be deadly in that street fighting. And if it's one place you do not want to be engaging these tank destroyers, it's in a street-to-street fight.
Yeah, yeah, especially along a long, narrow street with nowhere to really be flanked.
That's true. I can practically hear the whistle from like the good, the bad, and the ugly right about now. It's like,
Oh,
meanwhile, there's going to
oh,
be a green on green situation to the north. Yep, green on green, and von Alstadt has just given away, got to be over a kilometer in just raw distance.
yeah.
Interesting decision there. Almost as bad as to the south of that, we're going to be seeing, yeah, the Russians have been thrust back in the north completely. I look away for a couple of seconds, and there is barely anything red.
Yeah, it's just kind of another tragic accident up north has happened. Just all the Russian stuff has disappeared.
Well, you know what? They're gonna just going back underground as the Ho Chi Minh Trail. They'll come out
Mhm.
someplace else, I'm sure. Um, in the meantime, though, we are going to see all these Valkyries being brought on in. And while Valkyries by themselves are not, you know, the thing I'm going to be like, yeah, Valkyries are amazing. I mean, under the circumstances, they should be enough to hold the line.
Yeah, they got some SCGs, which is better than no SCGs, so
True,
statistically they're not that bad.
true. And they, of course, they have the anti-tank grenades. And I think we're going to see some people playing softball in just a moment here.
It's so funny using putting a Valentine in a town to begin with. Like, it's so
Yeah.
slow, it has no machine gun, barely any high explosive shells that do terrible damage. I mean, I guess
Well,
he's taken the infantry support tank thing to heart.
in this case, he has absolutely no AT shells, so he's running around with 35 AP shells, desperate to get something off before he dies, because he knows his time is limited.
Look, the Valkyries run faster than the Valentine tank.
Of course they are, dude. They gotta pick all
Yeah.
the brave guys off the battlefield. That's how this
I
works.
really want to see him to kill Jagdpancio. Goes, he shoots, but
No, he doesn't get the shot off, did he, or no? I'm
he
not
got one
sure.
shot off, I think. Maybe.
Northern Yogpants, in the
No.
meantime, is turning this other Russian approach into just awful over here.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's rough. On all fronts, the Russians are getting thrust back to the east. A new wave of Kazakh SVTs. So this sounds silly, perhaps, but losing the Katyusha feels to me like that was a massive, massive loss down here. If you put any kind of ammunition back in that Katyusha, this German push is stillborn.
Yeah, it definitely would have helped out quite a bit with... I mean, losing that Katyusha was very silly. He really should have kept it back at base and got a supply truck. But, yeah, it's going to be a GG for Frubblord taking the victory.
Interesting picture over here from both guys. You want to check out their
Bloody Reeves.
pictures?
Yeah. Bloody Reeves.
Oh
uh,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
very, very kawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Frubblord in the meantime, so his infantry, yeah, the infantry were kings in this battlefield.
Jesus.
Gapner paying himself 6 times over, Komptka over here as well. Even the Pioneers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like German infantry is pretty damn good, and especially like ninth is a really bad division, unfortunately. I I want it to be a good division because it's cool, because it's a light infantry Cossack division, but your infantry is kind of meh. Your tanks are really meh. Your anti-tanks is also extremely meh. It's just a very meh, just doesn't really work, unfortunately. And we've seen this time and time again with light cavalry, or he's bloody loses. And he's honestly usually not completely a fault of the player, maybe a fault for picking them, but the division just does not hold up well in
Indeed.
like a proper like stand-up fight. And SC2 has a lot of proper stand-up head-to-head fights.
Well, it's not as easy anymore just to kind of go and play this standoff kind of long range thing.
Hmm.
If that were the case, maybe the Kazakhs would be more worthwhile, but
Yeah, it's tough. It's just very tough division to play because like not being able to easily or having like good counters to heck even just tiger tanks, like Ziz 2 guns, cluster bombers, etc., really hinders your ability because tanks can be a real pain in the ass.
that is definitely true.
Hmm.
Any final thoughts, though?
Uh, uh,
Well, folks, while Rang tries to think of his final thoughts for the evening or morning, depending on when you watch this video, um, once again, we do want to give a nice little shout out to the second season of the SD2 League. As always, we'd love to see your guys' stuff out there. We'd love to see tons and tons of you kind of pick up the game. I know the Steam sale has just happened, so there was a bit of a call out for it then. Um, Guys, now's the time. The iron is hot. I mean, I wish I could come up with more sexy metaphors, but that's all I've got.
I got a thought. I thought of something.
Go for it.
So if you look at the Hermann Göring Panzer Division icon, it would have been so much more like better or fitting if the bird was actually just carrying a Panzer. That's how they should like be. It's instead of like a bloody diamond in the division logo, it should be like a Panzer IV tank. It'd be much more fitting. Imagine like a bird dropping a tank into battle. That'd be pretty gnarly.
That just kind of screams America. Are you sure you're not American?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Well, we tried back in the 1700s, but you guys said no.
It's good tea, okay?
That's true. But folks, as always,
tea.
thank you so much for your love and support to these channels. We definitely love doing it. You guys make it possible. Until next time, though, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.